Welcome to our assembly on embracing challenge by managing stress. Stress is a state of tension that arises when you experience demands from your environment or from inside yourself. The key phrase in this definition is from inside yourself. This leads us to believe that we can control or eliminate stress if we can control the messages that come from inside of us. A bear is trying to eat me is an environmental source of stress. It's impossible to eliminate all the possible environmental sources of stress in our lives. We're bound to go through some stress. We cannot change that. We can change the way we perceive those threats.
It happens. Stress is a normal part of life, especially during changes in life, like adolescence, injury, moving, death of a loved one, or beginning or ending of formal schooling. Each time you move from one stage in your life to another, there is likely to be a time of adjustment, which typically means more stress. Remember the first day of coming to this school from primary school? While it was exciting, there was new stress involved. We had to relearn how to function in that new environment, which is always going to be a stressful time.
Wonderfully and uniquely made, our bodies are able to handle stress in our lives in a way that is designed to protect us from harm. Stress is not a new phenomenon. Our ancestors and even animals have this basic response, which prepares them to cope with predators. Hans Sale and Walter Cannon coined the term fight or flight in the 1930s, when they demonstrated what happens in the human body during a stressful situation.
A bit of biology. Our fight or flight response is actually a biological response. It's where adrenaline is secreted from the kidneys, cortisol, a hormone, is released, providing bursts of energies, the heart suddenly beats faster, breath rate and blood pressure increase, blood sugar is released into the bloodstream, hearing and sight are enhanced, and digestive system and urine production slow to divert blood to more critical areas, such as the brain and muscles. It is common to hear people who have just been through a traumatic experience or something stressful say something like, "I wasn't thinking, I was just running on the adrenaline." This is actually biologically correct, as this is what their body is experiencing.
However, this response does have side effects. Some side effects that deteriorate our health is increased blood pressure, decreased immune function, and several other important functions of the body are interrupted. This can cause a lot of bad things for your health over time, such as mental illness, like addictive disorders, or physical things such as a stroke or headaches, or like asthma. If you already have asthma, it could worsen it to have a lot of stress.
What can we do to prevent this? 1, fix the fixable. That means anything under your control you can fix, you should do to prevent the stress. This means prioritizing what is in your circle of controllability. So say I'm going out, but I know I'll be stressed if I don't bring something, making sure that I have that thing so that I'm not stressed. 2, accept the inevitable. That's your second circle. That is the things that you can't control, the stuff that no matter what you do, you're not going to affect them. So you just accept that they are going to happen, and this ultimately will lead to less stress. And 3, protect yourself from the physical effects. You can do this by many methods we're about to show, but it means making sure that it doesn't get too stressful to the point it goes to the side effects we previously mentioned on the other slides.
Many stresses can be avoided, but life can't be. When you think about stress as something that can affect your health, it may encourage you to take drastic measures. Many are questioning whether having it all is worth the effort. But every decision has consequences, which in turn may cause more stress. Could you simplify your life? Life is filled with unpredictable ups and downs that will inevitably promote stress. So if something's happening which you could in fact stop doing or not try and do too much to reduce stress in your life, then that could be a good thing to do.
Positive ways to think about potentially stressful situations. Tell yourself that it might not be a bad thing that a bad thing is happening right now. At the very least, you could learn something from the experience that could help you or others. This situation may have prevented you or someone else from having to deal with one that was even worse. Another way is stress inoculation, preparing yourself for potentially stressful situations and events ahead of time. This can reduce or even eliminate the stress response from the actual event. You can do this by, as we previously mentioned, planning what you're going to do. So if you know, for example, you have a test coming up in the next 2 weeks, then you start the revision now rather than later, because you know if you leave your revision until the last week or potentially even the last night, you will be extremely stressed and wonder why you couldn't learn everything in time. Whereas if you had thought about it and pre-planned using stress inoculation 2 weeks ago and started preparing for your exams, then you will be less stressed and gain more knowledge.
Some methods to protect yourself from stress. There are lots of things that you can do, some of which are listed here. So there's exercise, which boosts endorphins, which in turn can put us in a better mood or give us more energy or just help us to stop feeling so negative. You can do stretches, even just at your desk, like tilting your head to the left and holding it, to the right and holding it, and then reaching your arms over your head and interlacing your fingers. These can just help you to feel less stressed and more happy for whatever you're trying to do. There are also ways to add laughter into your life, which in turn will decrease stress and hopefully boost your emotions and make you more productive when trying to work or revise, whatever. So some examples of being able to do this is by reading funny books or watching movies that are sure to make you laugh, or comedians, and trying not to take everything so seriously and just being able to have a joke about with your friends about things.
If you ever need someone to talk to or simply ask a question about preventing stress or helping when you are stressed, you can speak to your form tutors, peer mentors, other teachers, and you can also speak to us. So we've put our emails on the slide as well for you if you ever need them.